what?
platform it
I
up.
thought about changing the 100X. We had a lot of different ideas. We had ideas about 100X. We had ideas about changing it to this and that. We've already changed the show a couple times.
Too good to
But
be true or something.
too good to be true, which was great. When I came back in here, I can't remember what I called it. I called it something else. I already had it titled something different. And but when I logged in today, I was like, well, hold on a minute. We are 100Xing, by the way. We're 100Xing these coins. We're 100Xing, like we're 100Xing our brains. Like,
Value,
think about how much information's coming.
I love it.
Firehouse. I just wanted to say, I put this here. This was my dad's, RIP, Skip. And he was a cop, but also he was a veteran. And I just want to say to all the veterans out there, thank you. And we love you. And we appreciate it. So,
yeah, 100%, man. We couldn't be here doing what we're doing today. We couldn't be here doing this lovely show. We couldn't be here making everybody money. We couldn't be here helping everybody get out of the rat race. We couldn't be here doing everything we're doing if it wasn't for the veterans and their sacrifices and everything they've done, man.
I'm going to keep it. I'm going to move it because it was kind of really not balancing up there. I was afraid it was going to tip off.
While you're talking.
Yeah, and there's like a pistol in it, which, whatever. But yeah, that was my dad's that he used. Super cool.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And we'll probably fire that. It's a 9 milli. We'll probably fire up again one day. We'll see. Probably live it out.
A legend.
Dude, oh man. What's interesting about that is sometimes you never know a person till they're gone. You hear all these stories about people. You're like, damn, I never knew, that. And, along those lines, I think a lot of, I'm going to jump into money with this, but you see a lot of like baby boomers these days with cash and they're saying, well, I'm not going to leave it to my kids anymore, man. Let's party with it. Or I'm going to give it to my kids early because I want to live it with them. Not like, hey, I'm dead. Go party with this cash I left you. Like, how do we do this? How do we live this together? How do you get to use some of this in a smart way and
still stay retired, still
stay retired,
taken care of. Yeah,
which is interesting. There's so many things that I think we do out of habit, saving in the 401k and the Roth and the thing, because it's easy and because we don't know what to do.
They make it automatic too, so you don't even have to think.
They make it automatic, and you're like, hey, if there's a match, then I'm going to do the match because they said that was the best thing to do.
It is.
Yes,
if
agreed.
You're getting free money from your company, like a 6% match or something. I always preach to everybody: put in whatever your company's going to match, because that is free money all day long.
Yeah. Especially, you start seeing vesting periods where you're vested day one, so you could pull that stuff out the next week, right? In theory. So that's really cool. I would take advantage of that as well. And if they're not matching. And in fact, the company I'm at now, we don't even have a 401k because they're trying to do different progressive type things. Like when you buy a house, you get some cash. You get, all this. After 5 years, you get 30 days off. After 3 years, you get a bunch of stuff. It's like, I like
that. You know what? Just to try to mix it up and to make it even more valuable, or maybe find something that works better. I mean, why not mix it up and try something? I wish they would do some little type of, cash on the side or so, like a 3% match or something like that. Even
just
if
a little
1%, whatever, you know what I mean? But I like that. I like trying to figure out, like, pay for me to get educated on something else. Send me to coding school. Send me to, like you said, give me more vacation time. Give me more time with my family. Let me work 4 days a week instead of 5, after 3 years or something. Do something that will actually benefit me, because I am money rich, but I am time broke. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That is the worst possible thing you can be.
How about this? Dude, I'm in HR. I'm in talent acquisition. I'm in recruiting. We're going to get to crypto here in a sec. But it's like, what if you did the 4 days a week, you work for us, and 1 day a week, you have to work on whatever project thing you want to do.
Prove it.
Yeah, but like you should still be checking in with somebody along the way, like your manager, and say, hey, how's your side project going? Hey, cool, I got the website built this week, or I, launched my podcast, or I'm writing that book and I wrote a page today. Like,
you don't have to give away the farm. Just give them some updates, right?
Well, that's what I mean. But check in with somebody. So it's not like, whatever. And it could be anything. It could be gardening. It could be whatever the hell it is. But the point is, like, give us time is what you're saying. I don't want the perk and the thing and the whatever, the free and the dental. Honestly, give me 1 day to myself every week where I don't have to stay up till midnight doing fucking podcasts.
So let me jump in really quick on that. So my last job that I had, my last 9 to 5, which is the last 9 to 5 I will ever have. When I exactly when I got that job and I was talking to the boss and they were discussing my compensation and everything else and benefits package and whatnot, he's like, hey, you're going to get X amount of money, which he knew, and I knew that he knew that I knew was not the standard going rate for somebody that does, my job title. So I was like, I could argue with this dude about another 10 grand or something like that, which could maybe be adversarial. But instead I said this, I go, I value time more than I value money. And like I said, I'm money rich, time broke. So I said to him, I go, you give me 4 weeks off a year and you got a deal, and he's like, done. So he immediately handed me a month worth of free time when I would normally get 2 weeks. I doubled that. He handed it to me without question.
Willy-nilly. Yeah.
And every year that I worked there, I had 120 hours sitting there just waiting to be used for whatever I wanted. He never rejected any time off. I hated the man and I hated the job, but he still never rejected my time off requests or anything like that. And I took full advantage of it when I could. And it was huge because we both have kids. We both want to, like you said, take advantage of side hustles, side projects, side stuff, and explore other options, because you are not your 9 to 5. And I'm talking to everybody out there now. You are not your 9 to 5 job. You are a father first. You are a husband first. You are a friend first. You are
baby.
First. You know what I'm saying? Stop putting your 9 to 5 first. That's the biggest problem in this world right now, that everybody is so afraid to lose the paycheck that they will put their 9 to 5 first, and they will completely leave out their family, completely leave out themselves, completely leave out their kids, completely leave out their, their health, their well-being, all these things. And then a lot of people will go into a doctor and they'll be like, hey man, I'm depressed. And they'll be like, well, you're suffering from depression. Here's a shit ton of pills, which just makes it worse. And then you're not solving the problem. The problem is you're not putting yourself first. And then someone will be here, they'll hear that and they'll be like, well, that's selfish. That's a selfish attitude. You shouldn't put yourself first. You should, you should put everything else first. You should put everybody else first. Blah, blah, blah. No. How could you possibly expect to be able to put anything or anybody else first if you can't take care of number one? If you're miserable and on a shit ton of antidepressants because you're not taking care of yourself, if you're obese, and I'm not fat shaming here, okay? If you're obese, out of shape, and miserable, you are not putting yourself first, and you need to put yourself first, because if you don't, you will never be successful in anything else. I don't care how many hours you work at your 9 to 5. And most people work way too many hours at their 9 to 5 because nowadays it's a badge of honor. We talk about this all the time. Don't do that. Don't do that. Put yourself first, always. And then your kids will be better off for it. Your marriage will be better off for it. Your family life with your mom and dad and everybody will be better off for it. And and I'm going to go right back to what you just said about your father, because my father died when I was 9 as well. So what young, your dad didn't die when you were 9, but you get my point. But you don't know, and you don't really respect the time that you should have put in or that you did put in until they're gone.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that's so true. That's so true. There's so much there. It's a point that people hammer home all the time. But I always think back to it's so funny how people in a corporate setting treat each other. You act very professionally, right? Well, you act professionally, and the emails and everything is professionally. But as soon as we get home, we don't act like that in our real lives. It's an actual act. You know, and I also wonder, why can't we bring that politeness home, for one, right? But also, why can't, everybody's trying to be authentic these days and all that shit, which is great. What's funny is I got to jump in crypto here, because I find myself in these corporate spaces right now. But I'm so excited about what's going on in NFTs, and I'm so excited about what's going on in crypto, not because of the gains. Yes, the gains, but the more you find out and the more actual art that you see, that's really cool. Now I'm starting to look for art. I'm trying to see let's see what's out there. Let's see what I really dig. And I'm down on projects where now I'm whitelisted because it's super early, but I just dig the art. And now, because I was always like, how are you going to get on a whitelist? I'm not early enough, dude.
So let me just gotta have fun. Let me stop you really quick. Whitelist, for everybody that's listening. Whitelisting, what Joel's saying, is getting in on a project before it goes public. So it's almost like getting in on an IPO for a stock before it goes public, which is super important because then you get first dibs. And it's not because you're rich. It's not because you're famous. It's because you participated in a community and you helped spread the word why this is beneficial, and you helped build that project, and you helped put your 2 cents in. So keep going. I just wanted to tell everybody.
And that's the exact thing. And that's it. Yeah. And that's the exact thing. Like that carries weight when you come to a project and you tweet it out and you do the thing. I'm not a Twitter fan, but being in the crypto space or what you want to call it is kind of where you need to be, because
I jumped into
there's a lot of information there and you can get free shit. Like you have to watch a lot of the stuff that's out there, you know, but like people are dropping things. You will randomly get something that is worth a bunch of money if you just kind of pay attention, you know?
Yeah. And participate. Just show up.
So that's what I was saying is participation. You know, there's so much stuff that's going on. It's so exciting. Like the things that we're buying, the projects we're in. I know we want to talk a lot about it. Last time we teased on Pancake Swap. If you want to talk about that, we can. Otherwise, we've been talking a lot about Web3. I think we should talk about both real quick, because
I think that's going to lead into a Pancake Swap a little, you know.
Yeah, that's probably true. That's probably true. I just hate leaving them hanging on that, but it makes sense not to go there yet.
It's all right. We can always do one of those things. I'm going to look up here and I want to bring up the only reason I'm checking really fast because I want to bring up some of that Web3 stuff because I like where you're going with that. And
the Web3 thing too. Go ahead. Okay, so the Web3 thing I think is important, especially with the link to Ethereum and also with like what is the web. Lately, my wife's been asking me to text you this in the last couple of days, and I don't know why I didn't because I knew we'd be talking. But she's like, you know, ask Tony if he thinks there's multiple internets. You know, are there multiple internets? Like, are we all on the same internet, or are there different ones? And I'm like, well, I mean, I think we may know the answer to that, but I never really asked that question. But then, so that was just kind of what she's been asking me, and then you know, we started talking about Web3 and stuff like that. So
so pretty much, Web 1. I'm going to break it down really easy, really quick. Web 1 is static internet. And it's kind of like what we saw way back in the early 90s or right when everybody started. What would happen is you'd get online and you'd go to a website and it would just present you almost like a page from a book. It didn't do anything. There was no links. There was no interactivity really. All you did was read. It was just information that was presented to you on an internet, you know, on a system that was connected, you know, throughout the world where anybody could access this information.
So it was it started off like a library, essentially. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Because universities at U of I, like universities uploaded their research papers, and then all of a sudden it was like libraries came online and you know, whatnot. Okay.
Exactly. So then what ended up happening is that static web took off and it got a lot of attention, and then money started pouring in. So people and developers started saying, hey, why don't we make this more dynamic? Because if we can make this more dynamic, then more people can take advantage, get into it. More people will love it. So they started to add links. They started to add pictures. They started to add dynamic content like videos. And they started to add different things that you could do, like, you know, where things would move and light up and blink and, you know, it's called affordance, right?
Minesweeper. Or whatever.
That was the little game. Yeah. I think it's still there too. But it's like an ultimate Easter egg. But that's kind of where we're at today, right? So to answer Jenny's question, we are all on one internet and it's based on like the security, it's based on protocols, it's based on, and that's security related as well. It's based on dynamic content, which you see all over the place. And eventually you get to the point to where you can only do so much with a dynamic internet. And eventually you're going to have to get to something that is even better, more secure, less controlled, less regulated, less all that stuff, right? Because
faster,
when the internet is, exactly. When the internet is regulated, then you're not seeing everything. You're seeing what your internet provider wants you to see, which is not good. You don't want that because people can then filter whatever you see on the internet. And you're seeing that happen right now a lot. And that's why I think that decentralization and crypto and NFTs and all of these things are blowing up because people are sick of the censorship. And when you go on Google right now, or you go on YouTube, or you go on these platforms, and no offense to YouTube, because we're live on YouTube right over here somewhere. And what they're doing though, is they're saying, hey, that's not politically correct. That's not something that we support. So they censor it, which is not what you want. You do not want anybody censoring anything. You want the ability to, to see anything. And if you don't like it, you change the channel. That's what you do. You change the website. Yeah. So in a free country, in a free society, in a true free society and world, you need to be able to see the scumbags and the good guys. They all have to exist, and you have to be able to change the channel, and you have to let the bad people talk. You have to let the bad people do what they're going to do. You cannot stop it. You have to let everybody educate themselves on how to avoid getting scammed on NFTs. You have to let everybody educate themselves on how to avoid getting scammed with their money, how to avoid clicking on the links in the emails that'll get you viruses and stuff. You have to, educate people on this stuff. You don't prevent them from being able to access it. You educate them. You need a second?
No, Jenny just popped in.
Oh, tell Jenny we're on the same internet, but it's about to get really freaking awesome.
Did you hear that?
What's that?
You said, tell Jenny we're all on the same internet, but it's about to get really freaking awesome.
Oh boy, good to know.
Yeah.
I probably stole her computer cord. She's down here checking.
Yeah, let her steal whatever she needs. She's the boss. I know how it is.
Here, you can use this one.
I just need to know where I need to be able to plug in to the big screen.
Babe, there's 1 million people watching this right now. I don't know.
Well, you stole my crap.
I'm just kidding.
Hi, Tony. Love you. Bye.
I love you.
She gone.
This is how you support somebody. Joel was in the middle of doing something, but hey, man, the wife needed some help. Joel jumped in, helped her out. Boom, boom. No friction. Back. We're ready to rock.
Yeah, forget about it.
So I'll finish it, and then it'll be a perfect transition into Web3, which is what we should talk about more. So Web3 is decentralized everything, right? So no one person can control the message. No one person can control the content. It's decentralized, and that's what's going on with money. That's what's going on with the internet. That's what's going on with information. That's what's going on with everything right now. And that's what has to go on with everything. In order for it to advance to the next level, in order for you to beat this stage boss and go to the next level in Super Mario Brothers, you need to adopt decentralization. And you got to be careful too, because a lot of people will use that as a mask to actually keep it centralized. So you have to be really savvy with this stuff. You have to be super careful that you're not getting into a decentralized, centralized version. You know what I'm saying? You have to keep it truly decentralized. Don't let anybody control the message. Everybody gets a say. Everybody votes with their attention, with their money. That's why I said you don't vote with a little punch card or a little clicky box at the voting center when you vote on elections for presidents and congressmen and all that stuff. That's not how you vote. You don't vote there. You vote with your money and your attention. Let me give you an example. If you have two stores, okay, they both sell shoes and they're next to each other on Main Street. The one store is run by a bunch of racist pieces of shit that suck, that hate everybody, that are completely rude.
Never go there. Yeah.
But yeah, exactly. And then the next store is run by a bunch of people that are super cool, super helpful, super understanding, but at the same time, they're super knowledgeable. They're not, they're not afraid to actually tell you the truth and all that stuff. Which one are you going to go to? You're going to go to the one where they tell you the truth. But exactly.
Their shoes are 3 times more expensive.
Exactly, dude. I was just going to say that. So you're on the right wavelength, but you vote with your money. You go to the one that's $20 more, but those guys are way cooler. And eventually the guy that is horrible, a horrible person, will go out of business, and only the good people will remain. You don't go to your congressman and say we should outlaw everybody that is a piece of shit business owner. You vote with your money, because if you go to the congressman and you say we should outlaw people that are not nice, that's going to get misconstrued, and a lot of people are going to get wrecked because they fall under some sort of generalization of not nice. That's called communism. Okay. So we don't want that. That's not what we want. You don't want to silence people if they're using hate speech. You don't want to silence them. Let's say it again so everybody can hear that loud and clear. If somebody's using hate speech, you do not want to silence them. You change the channel and stop giving them attention and money. Even if you respond to a tweet where somebody's like, I love, something that you hate. Don't respond to the tweet. By responding to the tweet and saying you're a dumbass and you're a piece of shit because you think this, you're giving them attention. And that's what they want. There's a little saying that I always live by. Good attention and bad attention are the exact same thing. You're going to get the same exact results and you're going to get the same financial success. The only thing that these people do not want is no attention. If you don't get any attention, that's the worst thing there is. Bad attention is great. Good attention is great. No attention won't work because you go out of business.
No, that's interesting, dude. To think about parenting, right? And
Exactly.
one of the best ways to have a kid stop acting up a lot of times is don't pay any attention to him or them, or don't give him the attention when he's making, the fart jokes or whatever it is, it's basic. And I think if to the whole cake thing, there's a place that doesn't want to make cakes for somebody, then go get a cake at a different place. Like who has time to go through all of that when, like, if you had a cake shop and you didn't want to make a cake for something that you didn't believe in, then you should be fine doing that, right? Yeah, I know this show's getting a little bit down another rabbit hole here.
This is perfect because decentralization is what it's all about. Okay.
That's valid.
If anyone doesn't know what Joel's talking about, there's a cake shop that refused to make a cake for a gay couple's wedding. And it blew up on the internet. I'm sure everybody heard about it, right?
In Denver,
They tried to shut down the cake shop that would not support the gay community, which is wrong. You just go to the shop that will make the cake for anybody. Yeah. It doesn't matter. That's all you do. You don't have to make a big fucking deal out of it. Just go to the cake shop that will support the people, everybody, the people. And then that's how you win. That's how everybody wins. And
like what if you went to a cake shop that only made, what is it called? Kosher. Yeah. Or they didn't make kosher and you wanted them to, or you didn't want them to. Like, what are they supposed to do, And it's just like, so there's a lot of that stuff, but the decentralization part is playing the key in allowing everybody to have a voice.
Yes.
And from what I can see, have a vote to a lot of these tokens. If you look at them, governance is a big thing. And you'll think, well, what's governance? But a lot of that comes down to governing the token itself, right? But also voting. You
just kind of said it. The vote,
right?
The
vote
at the table.
And so, and the nice thing is, like Tony and I are in these projects where we're just because we bought one of the NFTs, we get a vote, and then this is like huge, like multi-million-dollar funds, and we get to vote.
$500 million DAO, which is a decentralized organization. So me and Joel joined a DAO, decentralized organization, through a project called Mutant Cats. I know that sounds crazy, and everyone's like, Mutant Cats, what the hell? And Mutant Gorillas, and that's just a face. That's just a facade.
It's just a piece of art. Yeah, it's just
on a $500 million company that we now have a seat at the table for. So you ever wonder, like when you buy a stock like Tesla, okay, let's use Tesla for example. And I love Elon Musk. I'm not dogging Elon Musk. I'm not dogging Tesla. I have a Tesla. I love them to death. Joel will tell everybody. He'll vouch for me on this. I'm a fanboy to the hilt. You know what I'm saying?
But keep talking.
Sure, no worries. And in Tesla, in order for you to get a real say in that company, you have to be a shareholder. Okay. And even if you're a shareholder, you don't really get a say. You just own a fractional share of the company. Yes, you do get some stuff in the mail where you can vote for officials and different things, but it's mainly just a vote for somebody that's going to sit on the board that will be able to make real decisions about where they spend their money, where they spend their time, how they go about the future, for the organization, for the project, new, SKU items or new cars or whatever. Those board members, and it's usually like 5 to 10 people, it's not a lot, they actually make the decisions for the whole entire company, regardless of what the shareholders say. Okay.
Exactly.
So me and Joel said, hey, there's got to be a better way to doing something like this. We did our homework over months. This wasn't something we figured out overnight. It was over years. And we've been talking about these things and trying to wrap our head around how this works for literally years. Okay. So finally we figured it out and we did it together. And we didn't have the balls to do it individually. We kind of teamed up and we were like, hey, let's support each other here. Let's bounce ideas off each other here. And let's dip our toes into this together so that we can both experience the highs and the lows, the successes and the failures, and learn from them and be able to talk about this stuff. And here, we're doing it live to share it with you guys
right now. Yeah, this is, we're sharing what we're learning. And for me, it was kind of like, I wanted to be able to, in this cyber world and the metaverse or whatever you want to talk about, I wanted to be able to have somebody doing what I was doing that I completely trust, and also saying like, are you seeing what I'm seeing?
Yes.
This is how I am understanding Web3. This is how I'm understanding how Ethereum links to things. Is that what you're understanding? Yes. And somebody that you could trust, because there's so many people online that you can't.
And so can I jump in really quick right there?
Yeah, that was all I wanted to say.
So let's talk about trust really quick. So Web3 again, I'm going to spin it back to decentralization and Web3. So Web3 is all about trustless. And I know we talked about this a little bit last time, but this is, I'm going to go a little deeper here. So the whole reason why we're going to a Web3 decentralized platform, the whole reason why Bitcoin, Ethereum, and decentralized finance works, the whole reason why tokenization and NFTs and everything like that works is because it's trustless. You do not need to know the other person in order to make a transaction with them. You do not need to know the other mutant cat holders that are sitting on the board table with you. You don't even need to trust them because everything is public. First of all, it's all public. Like, you know, me and Joel got into this thing. They sent out all the information. They said, here's the wallet with all of the company's finances in it. You can see every penny we spend. You don't need to trust that the CEO is not spending $1 million on a vacation to Bermuda with his girlfriend and buying Ferraris. You will see that. If he wants to do that, that's fucking great. But he's going to have to do it on his own penny because we'll see him do that. And if that happens, we can boot him out of the project as a freaking board member. We're on the board of a $500 million organization. If they want to spend money and buy a bunch of Bored Apes or crypto punks, or if they want to buy property, or if they want to buy property in the metaverse or whatever it is, they have to put it out to vote. And we get to determine what's up. Now, we're not always going to get our way because it's majority rules, but that's okay because you want somebody to have their vote and to have their say, but you also want to make sure that everything that the company's doing is in the best interest of the majority, not 5 people on a board that are getting shit tons of fucking stock options and going and buying the Ferraris and the Bermuda vacations while you're hanging out and working 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying? So that's the point, man. You need to be able to run in a trustless world because nowadays you can't trust anything. You can't trust anything. You have to do your homework. You have to put the time in, and you have to do all this research and stuff to make sure that you're not getting scammed, you're not getting screwed over, you're not getting anything. So when you can see the wallet for the company and every transaction's public. Now, let me stop right there again. Imagine if our federal government was run on the blockchain, which is a public ledger. So here's what that would mean. You pay your taxes, and all your tax money goes into the government's ledger, into their wallet, into their public ledger. And they want to spend money to help the homeless, or they want to spend money to help, unemployment situation, or they want to spend money to help with, disease, or with infrastructure, or whatever they talk about nowadays in the bills that they just passed that were trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars. You would actually get to see exactly where that money went, exactly how much money went there, and exactly how that money was spent by the person that it went to. Wouldn't that be awesome? Everybody always talks about that all the time. They're like, man, wouldn't it be great if I had an a la carte option for my taxes where I could be like, I want to spend my tax money on schools, infrastructure, and defense. You know what I mean? And that's all you can spend my money on. That'll never happen here. But with a trustless system, with a decentralized Web3 system, with a cryptocurrency-based global economy, everybody gets to see everything. And now you're going to be like, okay, I don't want everybody to see what I'm spending my money on. What if I'm buying the porn videos down at the corner shop? Well, here's the thing. Well, you're going to have to start thinking about that a little bit more, right? You're going to have to start owning up to the fact that you are watching porn, and you are going to watch porn regardless of whether or not people can see your Web3 crypto wallet. You are still going to do the things that you're going to do no matter what. I don't want people to see that I'm buying pot from the dispensary. I'm going to get fired from my job. Well, you're going to have to make some tough decisions then, right? So that's my point is, hey, do you want to keep living the lie? Or do you want to own up to what you really believe in and what you truly do with your life and keep moving forward? That's a big jump for a lot of people because they love to live the lie. They love to tell everybody how great their lives are. Look at social media. They love to tell everybody that they don't do X, Y, and Z. But when push comes to shove and you can't hide that anymore, all of a sudden shit gets real. And that's what's going to solve this world's problems is everybody starting to be real and owning up to what the fuck they're doing.
Wow, that's actually really interesting. You know what I mean? If you want to talk, that's a take on, if you want to say the Great Awakening or whatever, that people aren't maybe thinking about, and even I didn't, and not so much to go there, but think about the wallets themselves. Now, are they always public, or can you have a private wallet?
Yes. Yeah, okay, so there is privacy coins.
Because there's got to be a way around people buying drugs and people buying things like that. You're going to either do it offline or whatever it's going to be, or people won't care. But I wanted to bring up the wallet because here's the thing that Gary Vee will talk about. He used to talk about this a while back, and I didn't get it. He'll talk about like social currency. Yeah. And you can think of it as street cred, right? Yeah. Think of it as street cred. So right now, if you go look up Tony's wallet, you could see what he owns. You could see what NFTs he has, right? So all of a sudden, when somebody says, oh, yeah, I got CryptoPunks, or I went to Pearl Jam 95, and I was at Soldier Field, and they're going to be like, anybody could say that. But when you look in my wallet and you see the ticket to the Pearl Jam concert, and you see that I minted a Black Runner, and then you see that I got a mutant cat, and then I have 2 gorillas. Now you're going to be like, wow, it's almost like a bank account because people are buying CryptoPunks at $100,000 or more a pop. And you're like, whoa, this guy's a heavyweight. And you can see the ledger where he bought it at, where he or she bought it at, whatever. And it's a beautiful thing. It's amazing. And that's what the cred comes in. That's what the social currency comes in. It's like enough saying that you did it, but did you do it? Because we can go check.
Yep. I mean, dude, that's a great spin, dude. I love that take because that's and again, there's good and bad things.
Good and bad part of that. I'm just saying it's a part of it.
Yeah, there has to be good and bad with that because there is no such system. There will never be a system that will ever be built that will get rid of the bad. There's always the yin and the yang. There's always the black and the white. There's always the light and the dark. There's always the yin and the yang. There has to be. Without good, there is no bad. Without bad, there is no good. They can't exist independently. They have to exist together. And I don't think people realize that enough. They're like, well, if we lived in this utopia can't exist ever. There is no such thing as utopia.
Because it's not an equilibrium.
Bad. There has to be bad actors. There has to be bad weather in order for the flowers to grow. If it was sunny and 80 degrees every day, this place would be a fucking desert and we would all be dead. Okay?
Our golf games would be awesome.
Yes, we'd be really good desert golfers. So that's what I'm saying. You have to have bad weather days. You have to have down days where you feel like shit and you think about the things that you've done wrong. You think about the mistakes that you've made and you decide in that moment to be better. You decide to go onto the treadmill. You decide to go out and start that side hustle. You decide to go out and start, changing your mind about things and changing the way you think about things. You have to have those bad days. And I've had those bad days and Joel's helped me get through them. Joel's had those bad days and I've helped him get through those. And that's how that shit works, man. That's how you learn. You cannot learn unless you fuck up. You have to go through trial and error. Me and Joel have brought a bunch of NFTs and especially me, where I know for a fact one of them was a rug pull, and I told Joel that, and I was, and hey, I could have very well said like, man, I'm not going to tell Joel about this fucked up NFT that I bought, and I wasted money, and I messed up because, I don't want him to think that I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't want him to think that I'm an idiot, and this is the shit that goes through people's heads, right? And instead, here's what I did. I said, man, I got to tell Joel. This is exactly what went through my head. None of that went through my head. This is what went through my head. Man, I got to go tell Joel about this because I want him to be able to learn from my mistake so that we both can move forward with this knowledge, and he doesn't waste that money. He doesn't have to go through those growing pains. And then Joel's going to run into a situation where he does something. He's like, man, Jones, I fucked up here.
Yeah.
I did something
Dude,
here.
I'll tell you.
Hey, go.
It already hit because when you told me that, and then you said, hey, I also, because of that lesson, I learned you should check community size and community action,
Yes.
and so a couple I got really excited about. I was like, hold on, let me see their community sizes, and their community sizes were pretty low. Now I know they may have just been building, but then you check the action in there. You see if the members are active, who are the heavyweights. And so I learned a quick lesson from him when I may have, maybe I would have hit one, but in reality, it's probably like scratch off tickets right now. Like, one in X amount is going to hit. But the chances of something hitting, it might be a little bit higher because the chances of something hitting now, because a lot of really hot artists are hitting it. And since so many hot artists are flooding the market, there's opportunity to get somebody early. Like
big time.
And I want to beat down this, like as much as we've been going through this cycle, we've noticed that we start like coming back to, yes, there's timing plays. Like you're going to see a tweet or you're going to see something and somebody mentions something and you're going to pay attention and you might grab a mint and you're going to have fun with that. But like a lot of it is really just sticking with art you like. We always end up coming back to, I think this is cool. Yes, there's going to be stuff to follow because, again, people are churning stuff out and there's going to be huge projects. But just find stuff that you like and you'll end up enjoying the little piece anyway. And then there's going to be little just get involved. Just get involved, man. It's so fun. So fun.
You just got to get involved and you have to make some mistakes. And then you have to have some buddies and some people that are with you. And me and Joel are with you.
Use
That's
us.
what I'm saying right now.
Just use us.
We're
yeah.
with you, dude. And by all means, reach out. I got a couple email addresses that you can reach out to. If you're looking for professional help, you can reach out to me at Quantum Alchemy LLC at protonmail.com. That's my professional business that I'm running, where I'm currently in the process of getting licensed in the state of Illinois. I'm trying to find out what I can do to get licensed federally so I can cover all the states in the union.
Yeah.
But I should have that wrapped up in about 6 more days, like right around like 11/17-ish. And I will announce that back on the show here once I'm good to go so that everybody can know that I'm officially allowed to manage money and to give you like professional advice about what to do with your cash. And I'm super pumped about that. And I wanted to do this not for me, not for Joel, but for everybody, because I want everybody to be educated about this stuff and to know what's up with your money. They didn't teach you this shit in school. So Joel and Tony are going to teach you this right now. And we want to help our friends out. And everybody on here is our friends, because if you guys do better, and if the people we don't know do better, and if the people that are watching this randomly do better, there's this little thing that I'm a big, big fan of. It's called rising tide lifts all ships. And that shit is true. Okay. So if everybody levels up, we all level up. There's a little saying as well, where the 5 people that are your best friends that you surround yourself with are what you are. And if you surround yourself with 5 people that are super successful, super ambitious, super outgoing, trial and error, they make mistakes, they learn from their mistakes, you will also benefit from all of that stuff, man. So surround yourself with 5 winners. That's it. 5 winners. If you want to start with 3, start with 3. Find 3 winners. Even if you don't know them, reach out to them and say, hey, I'm in the same space. Find common ground. I'm in the same space as you are. I love NFTs. I love crypto. I love stock market. I love golf. I love baseball, whatever it is. And just say, hey, I want to get into this a little bit more. I want to join a men's league on Thursday nights to play some hardball with some 40-year-olds. I want to join this golf league over here and play some Wednesday night freaking 9-hole tourneys. I want to get into the stock market Discord channel that will teach you about meme stocks, like Wall Street bets, dude. we went down that rabbit hole too together. You want to do all these different things. And Joel nailed it earlier. He said, it's about participation in the community. Dude, you cannot begin to do anything until you put yourself into the community. I'm going to give one example really quick, and then you're going to take it from here because I got to go open this window because I'm sweating already. So I got the crypto mine working over there, and it's like a freaking sauna up in here. But I wanted to get into fishing, and I'm going to tell this story really quick. And I didn't know how to fish at all. Never picked up a fishing pole in my entire life. 2010. Okay.
All right.
So I'm like, all right, I want to get into fishing because I did borrow one of my friend's fishing poles. Vince Corrado, if you're listening to this, thank you very much. He changed my life. So Vince Corrado lent me one of his fishing poles. He lent me one of his reels. He taught me the basics, gave me some baits. This is what you do. Okay. He's a friend. He's one of my best friends. And
love him.
Yeah, Vinny C. And so Vince hooks it up and he gives me some pointers. I go home, I go to a pond and I try, I fail. And then all of a sudden out of nowhere, boom, I hook up and I land that fish, dude. And the adrenaline in the sense of accomplishment and the payoff for the hard work was unbelievable, right? So then I was like, okay, I want to get in on this more because I love that feeling. I love that adrenaline rush, and I love that excitement and everything of hooking up and then taking care of the fish and making sure the fish was okay, releasing it back into the wild, seeing how the fish, behaves and seeing how it interacts with its environment, then cleaning up. Like I was a big proponent about getting all the fishing line out of there so that, the fishing line wouldn't interfere with anything like the animals or the birds. I remember seeing a goose that had a bunch of fishing line caught up in his legs. And I literally chased this goose down and I didn't chase it, but like I creeped on it until the goose trusted me. Then I cut the fishing line off and I shit you not, this fucking goose turned around and looked at me and was like, thank you, dude. And took off. And I was like, dude, that was one of the coolest moments of my entire life. But then I started picking up garbage around the ponds when I was out there. I started taking care of Mother Nature because I respected it. And everyone's gonna be like, you're a fisher or you're fishing. That's monstrous. Why would you put these hooks in these things' faces and your animals? It's abuse. No, dude, no. Fishermen respect Mother Nature more than you possibly realize. Hunters respect nature more than you possibly realize. All of the money for all of these pro-conservation wildlife groups comes from people that fish and fucking hunt. So, I mean, dude, so that's what you got to do. You got to get in the community. So I went and I'm like, Vince, let's join the community. I know a guy that's in a fishing club and we can get into this fishing club and we'll learn so much. So we do. We go to a meeting. I had no idea what the fuck was up. Yeah. I knew that I was going to be pretty much donating my money into this fishing community for at least a couple of years before I could actually compete to try to win something. But I didn't care because it was like paying for an education. Okay. So I went into this fishing community. I joined a community with the best fishermen in Illinois. That's no freaking understatement. These guys are the best of the best still to today. Okay. And I was like, I want to learn from the best. I want to surround myself with the best. I'm joining this group. And I did. And I got to fish as a co-angler on the back of the boat with some of the best fishermen in the state. And they showed me so much. They taught me so much. They explained everything to me. They gave me baits. They gave me reels. They gave me rods. They gave me line. They gave me time. Jeez. They gave me their energy. And they embraced me and Vince, man. I just spit. And they embraced me and Vince, And they were like, you guys are great. Thank you so much for joining. A lot of people get intimidated and scared and they don't want to donate their money, but it's not about that, man. It's about the community. And I learned so much in my first 5 years of fishing that after, I don't know, it was after maybe my 5th season, I started winning and I made, the state teams. I started making the regionals. I started fishing for money. I started, cashing checks, all this stuff. And people would come back to me that were awesome, that had showed me the ropes. And they're like, dude, I can't believe how good you are. And it was all because you were humble. You came in with the sense that you wanted to learn. You didn't care about anything. You didn't let your ego get in the way. The pride thing. You just wanted to learn. You were willing to make mistakes. You were willing to put in the time and the hard work. And look at how much it's paying off. And it was like one of the greatest things I've ever done in my life. I still love fishing to this day. I still fish all the time to this day. You know this. Yeah. And man, these guys are my best friends. I still talk to all of them. And and that can happen with anything. It can happen with freaking crocheting, dude. It could happen with it could happen with, anything. It could happen with cooking. It could happen with artwork. It could happen with anything, man. Do you have something like that you participated in that changed your life?
I don't know,
golf,
man.
I know golf.
Yeah, golf was big for me recently in the last recent years, finding a community around golfers, because they're all pretty chill. You spend a few hours with somebody, and like that, I met a lot of good friends there. And golfing is such a great common bond, because you can call another golfer up and say you want to go play, right? And that's like a really cool thing. What I find in these discords, which is hard for me, was hard for me in the beginning, how many discords you have running. Now I realize like a discord is like this. However many like discords you can really be active and handle is probably how many projects I would say maybe you could only handle in life. But
I like that
because it's hard to be attentive if you want to be. And here's part of it. It's the community again, because it's like you already have one thing in common. So the people in Mutant Cats, you already give respect to the people in there because they're a holder of the Mutant Cat. And it immediately forms this thing. Although I do find it hard maybe to try to like maybe meet a best friend, but people are doing that all over the world in here. And so I think we've pounded community enough to the fact that just meaning like you will get free things just by being in the group and talking to people, sharing, commenting, emojis, and giving feedback. And you would, if you just did nothing but that, was find art that you liked. And here's I'm going to lead into a giveaway. Find some art that you like. Get on their Discord, because the first thing they're going to make you do is join their Discord, which is free. They'll send you an invite, and then you'll just start listening and watching and interacting. And then pretty soon, one thing will lead to another. All I could say is, and Tony taught me this, and somebody probably taught him that, is the DMs within Discord can be very dangerous. So if anybody's DMing you in Discord, really look at who that person is, because everyone's going to try to sell you something. Not everybody, but I just want you to be vigilant, because I've clicked on a few things that weren't bad, but could have been, or I could have just paid somebody for a shitty project.
Or you could give them your wallet address or something, personal, where they could empty your shit. So I'm going to touch on this really quick too. Because
do that, please. Yeah, and I'm going to talk about next week.
Yeah. So to Joel's point, only respond and click links in the Discord channels from people that you know personally. Like if Joel posted something in my DMs, I know that it's Joel, because there's a little verified green little dot that shows that it's him, and I can make sure that it's him, and you can see who the person is. If you get something from something that looks like, okay, let's use Mutant Cats for example. If you get a DM from Mutant Cats and you notice that the Mutant Cats username is actually something weird like front-end utility.cgo or something like that, just do your homework and look around to see if anything looks weird. If anything's misspelled, or if there's an extra hyphen or quotes around something or something weird. Don't click on it unless you actually ask. If you want to ask me or Joel, ask me or Joel. Go back into the Discord main general chat and reach out to a mod and say, hey, I got a DM from this. Was this you guys? And 9 times out of 10, they'll tell you, we don't send direct messages to anybody. If you got a direct message from somebody, it wasn't us. So just be super careful, because there is no bank, there is no intermediate person, there's no middleman that's going to help you navigate this stuff anymore. But you don't need it. You just need to pay attention. You need to slow down and just make sure you're doing the right things and you're interacting with the right people. So just be super careful on Discord, please. Ask us.
Yeah, there's already been a position where I bought something and I thought somebody stole it. Only because I've been hearing stories, not like rampant stories, but we always gravitate towards the negative. So look, it's risky, but it's not scary. Like, you're going to be scared anyway. I want to talk about so the last thing is I want you guys, if you're not involved yet, I want you to get involved and that just means like open up and go to Opensea. We're going to put a link, and we're going to put a couple links below. One is going to be an invite to maybe Mutant Cats Discord, because that'll get you in Discord, and we are in there. So now you can see us in there. And then at least if you had a question, you don't even have to buy into the project. If you had a question, right, we could at least talk in there or whatever.
I am going to help out. Keep talking. And
Okay, so but here's what I want for next time. What I would love to do is if people sign up with a wallet on OpenSea, this is a marketplace for NFTs, and then I want them to put their wallet in our comments because you'll see a lot of this. You'll see a lot of people that'll say, "Hey, put your wallet address in the comments," and then we're going to randomly pick somebody for a giveaway. And we are going to give something away, and I have a couple of ideas, but we'll talk about it next show. But I want you guys to get ready for next week. Get ready with an OpenSea wallet. Tony, I don't know if you want to show them or not, but like you're going to go to this OpenSea.
This is my profile right here. I'm not showing you anything that you won't be able to see. These are all the NFTs that I show on Open Wallet or an OpenSea right now. Okay. I'm not showing you anything that you shouldn't be able to see. This is what Joel's talking about. You're going to have a public. This is public. Anybody can see this. There's two different things that you can use. You can have a public address and a private address. Okay. Don't ever let anybody know your private keys or your recovery seed phrases. It'll be a bunch of weird ass words like home, gym, plane, pizza,
taco. Yeah. Whatever.
Don't ever give anybody those words ever. And there'll be like 11 or 12 words total. I can't remember exactly. Usually, yeah. Like but there's going to be a, you're going to have a public wallet and it usually starts with a 0x. And then always check that beginning 4 or 5 numbers or letters and the end 4 or 5 numbers and letters to make sure that that's actually the right public wallet that you're using. That's yours. You can share that anywhere. No one can steal anything from that. They can only deposit. They can't take. They can only deposit in this wallet. This is the wallet that you're going to use when you use your cryptocurrency to buy things, when you use your cryptocurrency to accept money, whatever it is. And you can see all my stuff. If you want to go to OpenSea and you want to search me, there's my username, Aaron Bourne J or Aaron Bourne J22. And my full, they don't show you the full wallet address, but you can copy this and use this and paste it into Twitter. You can paste it into an email. You can paste it into whatever. It doesn't matter. No one can do anything with this. And like Joel said, they'll run giveaways all the time where you have to put this up there. But I put a little thing here too that shows kind of some of the stuff I owned. You can see that I've only been in here since about March of 2021. I haven't been in here that long, not even a year. And you can see some of my NFTs right here that I own. I own a couple bubblegum kids. I own a block runner. Rude boy. Here's the mutant gorilla. My mutant cat is currently staked as long as same as Joel's, and that one's making us some cash. I got a rebel rabbit, which is like a little mask, and then I have a mad ape from my mad ape tournaments, and then we have an exclusive number that allows us access to like exclusive drops from this group called The Numbers, which we're waiting on some intel this week too, which should be pretty interesting. So we got a bunch of stuff that we're involved in. This is a project. This is a project. This is a project. They're all separate projects. They're all separate NFTs. And you can find us on any of these Discord channels as well. And just look for my name up here and you can find me and you can hang out with me. You can talk to me. You can say, hey, send me an invite and I'll send you an invite. Whatever you want, man. I am here to help. Okay. And don't be afraid. And as long as you keep, just kind of taking baby steps, be real patient, be real careful, ask questions, make sure that you double check everything before you execute or confirm anything. You'll be good to go, man. You can't mess this up. You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah, you're right. And I think it'll start getting scary when you want to buy something that's not on maybe OpenSea or you need something other than maybe Ethereum and you need to have another wallet and then you're going to have 3 or 4 wallets.
You will. That's good though. That's a good thing.
Yeah, it is a good thing because things don't always work on all these different platforms and there's cheaper ways to do business. And sometimes you move to another wallet and another platform because it's cheaper. And we're all learning this at the same time, but look at those Neo Tokyos, baby. Mm-hmm. Oh, geez. Neo Tokyo. If you want to go down a rabbit hole, go look up Neo Tokyo.
Oh man, so cool.
And those Neo Tokyo identities are going for about $100,000 a piece right now. Some of them are going for $1 million. Some of them are going for more than that. I would love one of these. Look, the cheapest one's going for 15 Ethereum.
Let's go here. Yeah, 15.5 is the floor. So yeah, you can see
right here. Click on one.
Cheap. Okay.
Yeah, so just click on one because it'll show how Ethereum gets converted to dollars. So look, it'll say 15 Ethereum is $74,000 for this, which is a character in a video game.
And here, and Joel, do you think that this is that crazy?
No, no, I don't. But
yeah, isn't that crazy?
yeah,
75 G's for an NFT, and you're like, nah, that's not crazy at all. That's
I'm like always thinking, oh, shit, how can I scratch that together for this? You know,
yes.
I know,
Dude, that's what I was saying. That's how crazy it gets, people. When you see that 74 G's to buy this little string of code, which is basically your character, like he said,
yeah.
is not that expensive, you know that this is pretty freaking crazy.
And like scroll down for a minute, because this is the openness. Here's the activity. You can see everybody who's ever owned it and what price
right
they
here.
got it for. So you look down here and say, dude, he just got it for 12. He wants to flip it for 15. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
but,
so this guy got it for 10 original. Well, okay. So this guy minted it. You see this right here. So this is when it was created. So a null address, which is actually Becker, created this out of thin air. Well, he didn't even create it. He put it up for creation, and Simply Crosswords actually minted it and created it. That's why they have a little baby carriage right here, okay? So this guy brought it into the world. Then he held on to it and transferred it over to this guy, I Love Pepe. So Pepe had it for a while and transferred it over to Waz NFT. Then and this was actually a sale. So I'm sorry, I should have said the sale first. So I Love Pepe sold it to Waz NFT for 10.5 Ethereum right here 17 days ago. This is all public ledger. Like I said, you can't hide this. This is all public ledger. So then Waz NFT sent it to, this looks like another, I don't know if this is a name or if this is a staking thing or something internally with the game. I'm not sure what this is, but I guess it was a sale. So it was sold for 12.5 NFT or Ethereum for Waz to send this to this 3675,809. And that happened 11 days ago, which is not that long ago, dude. And then he's got that listed. So the current seller, 3675,809, has got it listed for 15 Ethereum, 15 and a half Ethereum. So essentially, they're looking to make about 3 Ethereum on that, which is, let's just say, $4,700. So 4,700 times 3. You know what I mean? In how many days? It was probably a week.
11.
Yeah, 11 days. There you go. 11 days. He's looking to make almost 15 grand.
And look how many people are watching it. It's got 5,000 views on it. And it's probably because it's the cheapest one. I mean, if you want to get in with one of these players right here,
it's all good.
You're going to have to spend that much just to get in it. And like, you know, that's the cheapest one probably. You know, you want to know a secret I learned about this from a video you sent me. Go back. And this is going to go a little bit deep, but here's how you would maybe try to find. So go over to the left and scroll down now. A lot of these NFTs have like secret stuff. So go to go to credit yield on the left. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and go to high credit yield, because this is how much they would yield when you're staking them. 59 Ethereum for a high credit yield. Only 80 of them have this. This 282 grand. If I was going to buy one, this is the one I would want. I would want to be at the high credit yield limit, because now when you're staking things, I guess you have a higher yield off your stake, what I'm reading into. And so, I would, if you have the money and you want to get into something crazy hot, I would do this. But shit, don't take advice from me, please.
And it comes with 1456 already.
So, and if you go back to the screen, it'll show you, like, go back to the screen, because usually all the credits are maxed out. So scroll down and go to property or levels. Go to levels and then credits. Yeah, he's maxed out on credits. Yeah. And intelligence is 84 of 100.
That's damn close. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, look at that. And intelligence is 84 of 100. I almost bought one the other day that was a ninja, like a magical ninja with like super intelligence. It was crazy.
What? Yeah. That's a crazy all here. This one is a human, female, credit yield high. What is she? She's a celebrity.
Oh, that's cool.
And day one upload. So this is original character, and you can see some of the other stuff here: strength, attractiveness, intelligence.
And you know what's great about this?
This is just for this game, though. This isn't for every NFT.
Yeah, this is just for this game. And think about it: you don't even get to see what the character looks like or anything, man. But it just shows that this game right here is being put out by like the heavyweight, probably really, I don't know, the industry, I would say. But that's why we're doing a lot of stuff here we can talk about. But this is to get you excited too. Like, go look up these guys and go have fun. And when you have questions and when you have stuff, it's not just one.
Look at this.
Look at those. And
they're
so
all 30 Ethereum. They're all worth thousands and thousands of dollars. All of them. Look at this.
And the reason why guys, for this game is because you can make money, first of all, playing this game, but then you can make money staking these. Look at that, 420 Ethereum. You stake these characters and like they're making $1 million a year in just staking like returns.
Pretty much what he's saying, as long as you're in and you own one of these, you're going to make about $1 million a year.
Yeah.
No joke.
Yeah.
So you're going to
look it up.
Well, then why wouldn't everybody just buy one of these 15.5s for 74 Gs? Well, like Joel said, some of them will make more money than others, and some of them are more viable than others. And they're all unique and individual. They're all different. They're all completely separate tokens, and they're all like non-fungible, which means they're one of a kind. And you cannot get into this project any other way besides buying in at this point, unless he comes out with another way to get in, which me and Joel are trying to figure out. But and you know,
but
like,
there's stories. There are stories of, whatever, people getting these things in giveaways like we're trying to do here. Like when we go next week and we talk about putting your wallet address in and we're going to do a giveaway, we're not going to give away anything like this, but I'll tell you, like, that's exactly how these things happen. And so we're going to give away something cool. And if you haven't bought anything or whatever, you'll start having fun with it. Yeah.
That's the best part, man, is I like that move. What we should do is we should try to grab something super cool. We should try to grab a couple like bubblegum kids or something, because they're cheap as hell.
And great idea
on that. And
great idea.
We can flip a bubblegum kid for Christmas.
Yeah.
We'll run a giveaway from like now till Christmas. Let's come up with some details.
That's a great idea.
A week or two. And I can find a couple of good bubblegum kids because they've got a utility factor. So let's go to, this is my character, right? This is my man.
I love this guy. This guy's good, man.
So here's my bubblegum kids group. So pretty much you could see really, really cheap entry price. 0.045 Ethereum is my floor. So let's go in here. This one's
what's that, like $200? Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
$215. Great entry point for anybody to buy into this, right? So you could spend $215 and get this bubblegum kid right now. And if you
plus some gas.
That's true. Which is the transaction fee, if anyone wants to know. So you buy this bubblegum kid, let's say $300 out the door, and that would probably be a lot. $300 out the door. We get this bubblegum kid, we raffle it off, we give it to somebody. Now, like Joel said, before I would buy this, obviously I'd go into Discord, do all the homework like Joel was saying. But you go to Discord, and I bought a couple bubblegum kids just because I thought that they were cool. I didn't know that there was going to be anything cool with them. So I got this one because I was like, oh, I want this as my profile pic. There was no utility. There was nothing special about it at the time when I bought it. I just thought it was cool and it was nice and cheap. Look, you can see I bought it for 0.09 to me right there, 11 days ago. Okay. It shows you everything. Okay. So yeah, nothing crazy. I didn't spend a shit ton of money on this. I just wanted to get in on the project. Held on to it. It's my profile pic. I love it to death. But then all of a sudden I go into Discord a week or two after I buy it. They start announcing that they're going to start adding different things to the project because everybody's part of the organization of Bubblegum Kids. So they're like, hey, we just put in for land in the metaverse and we're going to build Bubblegum land. And now you'll have access to the metaverse through the bubblegum land and through your bubblegum kid. And if everyone's like, well, what the hell does that mean? Well, imagine being able to get into Ready Player One or into the metaverse for free forever, as long as you own one of these NFTs, or a couple NFTs are doing this right now. A lot of NFTs are doing this right now. But the metaverse is going to be a place where everybody interacts and everybody does work, everybody learns, and everybody does everything. Go watch Ready Player One, and that's what we're talking about. They were even talking about that on CNBC today. That's how crazy it is. But, they were talking about how to get into the metaverse and how it's like Ready Player One. I mean, they were saying the exact same shit that we were talking about.
That's true.
But they also said that they're going to do an airdrop, which is they're going to give everybody that's owning or that owns one of these bubblegum kids, they're going to give them a free NFT that's a puppy dog that will play with their bubblegum kid, and they'll be able to own. That's completely separate. It's a separate free NFT. Now, you just got offered a free NFT that could potentially be worth $300, like we just showed you, which is the floor, or it could be worth $100,000 if it's ultra rare and it's, one of a kind that has these crazy traits like Joel was talking about before.
And for some reason, people love the puppy. Like, you never know. Like, I know it's a little weird, kind of. But the utility part, I think, is on the back end is really where the value, you want to look at two things. You want to look at community and you want to look at utility as far as like an investment, if you know what I mean. Because the art is an investment anyway, but like.
I love it.
You know what I mean?
Transition. I got a great way to spin this because you just gave me a great idea. So would you buy a stock or would you be embarrassed to buy a stock like Pampers or Disney because you think it's a kid's thing if the thing's, got 5% yield and the stock's going through the roof and you can add it to your portfolio and make a shit ton of money? Nobody that owns Disney stock or Pampers stock or stock for, some company that makes toys or some, kids, no one's embarrassed to own that because it's an investment. They're making a ton of money on this. Everyone's going to be like, bubblegum kids. This is for fucking kids. This guy's an idiot. Why would I put money into something that looks like a bunch of kids? It's not like that. It's like owning Disney stock. It's like owning something that's going to make you a bunch of money because it's got a utility. It's got some sort of use case. There's something going on with it that's going to make it, actionable or valuable. And it doesn't matter what it's for. Are you going to be embarrassed to buy, a stock that it represents, like women's, hygiene products or something like that? No, because if that's a great stock, then you buy it. Whatever it is, dude, you got to start taking the ego out of things. You got to start taking your pride out of things to be like, I'm too proud to own Disney stock. Who cares if my neighbor just made $1 million on it? Who cares if my neighbor just retired at 45? I'm too proud to own Disney stock. Nah, the only stocks I buy are gun companies. I'm proud.
Dude, it's so crazy that like what really is, and it was jumping in my brain too, is that I didn't like get it. And I'm not a gamer and whatever you want to call it. And so I was kind of like, as uncomfortable I was in the space, I mean, I just wanted to learn. And then I found my own niche within it, right? I found how it was for me. Yeah. So like, to your point, like, I know it's weird and I know it's different, but like, that's what change is. And that's what the future is. And yeah, dude, that's awesome. I love this guy. I don't even. Well, I like that guy.
That's what I see everybody when I tell them, Bitcoin's a pointless, worthless thing that's going to go to zero. It's just like, all right, take it easy. Have a great day.
It may.
You're just like, I can't. I'm not even talking to somebody that's actually wants to have a conversation. I'm just talking to your ego, man. And when I'm not going to. You're on ego boost right now, and I'm not going to make you. No matter what I tell you, it's not going to matter.
That's true. I've run up against that. I think in this day, though, to be successful or whatever, I think you have to be open to the idea that Bitcoin very well could go to zero. Like, I think that's the brain you have to have going into this. You have to be on neutral, that it's going here and it's going, not you personally, but you know what I mean? Like, I think that's the brain you have to come in with is one of those, it's actually a neutral brain. Was it Terry Mowat was on, I'll put the link in here. I've done it before about a neutral brain, about not saying the negative. Yes. Focusing on the positive, just not vocalizing the negative. And I think like, if you can try to practice that, which meditation really helps, Jeez. Oh, speaking of which, I'll probably leave it here, but I've been doing a lot of meditation with the bowls, like the sound. Oh, ever since I started looking at the sound, now I want a pipe organ. Oh, brother.
We'll mix that into an episode coming up here too, because that'll be a good way to teach everybody how to get into the correct mindset to be able to go into a financial realm or an NFT world and have that clarity. You know what I mean?
And not be emotional.
Yes. Because like I said, you have to be open to anything. You have to have some clarity. And I want to leave it with this, okay? We'll hit on yours. I want to leave it with this because then I'm going to go close some rings. But everybody always asks me this. They're like, okay, what is cryptocurrency backed on? Obviously our currency, the US dollar, is backed on our economy, gold or something, whatever, which is not the case, but I hear it all the time, and other things, like you could say that commodities are backed on the commodity itself. You could say that, like all these different things have something that's backing them, and that's why they hold value. But cryptocurrency doesn't have anything backing it. That's why it has no value. Okay. That's not true. All right. I thought about this for a long time, and I thought about how to answer this intelligently for a long time. And I came up with the answer out of nowhere when I was just walking around hanging out at Disney World, ironically. And here's what's up. So cryptocurrency has the best thing backing it of all time, the most valuable thing of all time backing it. Cryptocurrency is where it's at today because of this. And I don't think people realize this, and they should. If anybody's on social media like Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or anything like that, they said the same thing about Facebook back in the day. Well, Facebook is never going to be a good company because there's nothing back. They don't sell anything. They don't generate any revenue, right? Well, now they're worth hundreds of billions of fucking dollars, and everybody was wrong. Okay, same with all those companies. And what did they use in order to monetize and to make themselves into the fourth richest country in the world? Not just stock, country in the world. What did they monetize, Joel? I'm going to ask you this really quick.
The users.
Yes, exactly. And what specifically of said user?
The data.
The data, exactly. So the data is the most valuable thing in the world. And it's not even close. Not even close. You can combine all the diamonds, you can combine all the fucking gold, you can combine all the houses, the Teslas, you can combine all the GMs and Fords, and you can combine everything. And it doesn't even scratch half of 1% of the value of data. Okay. So Bitcoin and Ethereum and all of these cryptocurrencies out there, they are backed by data. Okay. Every single thing that you will do on the internet for the rest of your life will be backed by crypto, which in turn houses all of the data. So cryptocurrency is backed by data. Money, US dollars, ain't even close to that. You could take all of the money that was ever made ever in all the countries combined, and you wouldn't even come close to the value of the worth of data. That's what I'm saying. Data is the most valuable thing in the world, not oil, not gold. Data, because you could take all of the data in the world and do whatever you want. You feed it into an AI, they're going to tell you exactly how to win the stock markets. They're going to tell you exactly what's going to happen in the future. They're going to tell you exactly how to win with cryptocurrency and everything else. You need data. Data is the most valuable thing in the world. The only thing that is backed by data is cryptocurrency. That's it.
I love it. I would have never answered it that way, but that's the most simple way to put it, and it's brilliant because it does carry so much weight to it. You know what I mean?
So
it's beautiful.
Your gold.
So fuck that gold.
Yeah.
Gold's going up today. I was just thinking. I started chuckling because I was like, I know I got a long position open on some RIP, and I wanted to check it out. And again, I just started chuckling because that's the fun stuff, man. A lot of these cool apps, you'll find all of a sudden you're making option trades you didn't even know you were doing, and but you're learning along the way.
That's it,
dude. We're gonna talk about a giveaway next time. So get on Opensea, get your wallets, get a wallet uploaded, and we're gonna want to see those addresses next week. And if you have questions, put them down there. I'll check it, and I'm gonna put some links in there. I already posted a link to Opensea in the chat now, so go down there and check that out. And seriously, use us. Yeah. We were saying, hey, find the people that you have things in common with. If you have things in common like this and you want to talk about this shit, let's hook up. All right, let's talk about it here. So that's it, dude.
Let's go throw some rings. Next Thursday, everybody. Reach out to us.